Michael, I'll be captain. Sorry, it's casual Christmas for me. A few things we get going today, folks. Safety is of our utmost concern at all times on board the vessel. If while we're travelling there is an emergency, you may be asked to take a seat in the main cabin. Remain there while Herman and I do anything appropriately. If it was to occur at such a time, you may be asked to wear life jackets. They're stored here at the cabins in front of the helmet, and if they're required, Herman and I will get them out. There are life rings positioned around the vessel. If somebody falls off today, please don't hesitate. Grab one, throw it to them, not at them, and come and tell Herman and I so we can get them back on board. If you'd like a terra-coffee, the facilities at the bar area, feel free to help yourself. It is complimentary, and alcoholic beverages.
So good afternoon, welcome aboard to the Melbourne Star. My name is Herman and I'll be providing the commentaries for the first part of the cruise. Then in the second half you can relax and enjoy the view. Let's start. I just want to talk about this bridge that we have right here. This is the Princess Bridge. This is the second oldest bridge running over the Yarra River. It was built in 1888. This is a replica of the Blackfriars Bridge, which runs over the Thames in England. The framework of the bridge was made in England and then shipped to Australia to be assembled. Once we pass it, I want you to look at the size of the bridge. They have different emblems. Those represent the different councils that paid for the construction of it. Now that we have gone onto that bridge, behind these trees we have Flinders Street Station, which is one of the oldest train stations in the world, the oldest in Australia. It was built in 1854. It has 13 different stations, has a very iconic architecture. Flinders is very famous because of the clocks. You will see one of the big clocks once we pass these trees over here. On the other side, we have, on the south bank side of the river, we have the South Gate area. This is a relatively new area from the Melbourne CBD. It has barely 25 to 30 years old. This has a lot of very nice restaurants, hotels, bars, cafes. In the past, this used to be there was a lot of warehouses here, factories, and car parks. But there has been a lot of development in this area. So I definitely recommend you to check this out if you have some time. It's very beautiful. And it has some very good restaurants. You can see the clock I was talking to you about over there. This is still Flinders Street Station, very beautiful. In front of us we have a metallic bridge. This was the first bridge on the Yarra River. It is called the Sand Ridge Rail Bridge. This was built as a railway bridge. The railway was removed in 1988 for the construction of the Crown Casino. The structures or sculptures that you can see on top of the bridge represent the arrival of the European immigrants to Australia. They have different shapes, they have an animal, some people, a lot of flowers, the food has different interpretations. On top of this bridge we have different panels. Every panel has a different name of the country of where the immigrants have come to Melbourne. You can see the name of my country over there. You might be able to see yours. It's very nice. I recommend you to have a walk over here. It's very nice. Ahead of us we have the first low bridge of this journey. This is the Queen's Bridge. It was built in 1889. And right now I need to go to the back to make sure that everybody's seated. I'll come back soon, okay? Right here we have the Melbourne Aquarium, the Sea Life. It's a 4-story water world aquarium. The main focus is the Southern Ocean's tank, which holds more than 1.2 million liters of treated water. The tank has rays, sharks, rays, groupers, and exotic fish species from all over the world. On the other side we have the Crown Casino. All this complex in this block is the Crown Casino. This is the most expensive building of Melbourne. It was made at a cost of $2.5 billion. The casino has a cinema, a nightclub, restaurants, an arcade, a lot of shops, and a hotel as well. It's a very beautiful casino. This is the largest casino of the Southern Hemisphere. The next bridge ahead is the King's Bridge, and I also need to go to the back. I'll be here soon. Okay, my friends, thank you for your patience. Now I want you to check this area. We have the Melbourne Exhibition Centre right here. It's a very large space. It has 30,000 square meters of just floor space without any pillars in the middle. It's a big architectonic achievement right here. Over here we have the Melbourne Convention Centre. In between we have a ship, a wooden ship. This is the Polly Woodside. The Polly Woodside undertook 16 trips between Ireland and South America before being sold to New Zealand, where it was used to transport coal. It was partially burnt and it was going to be sunk. But then the National Trust of Victoria bought it for the amazing amount of 1 penny. They spent 17 years restoring it, using only voluntary work. Now, that ship that we're gonna see it in 6 seconds is a museum. It's part of the Maritime Museum of Melbourne. It's a very, very beautiful ship. It's usually open on weekends. But if you walk around here, you can take a very close look. It's a very beautiful ship, but it's trapped there because it can't fit under these low bridges of the Yarra. Over there, we have the Seafarers Mission. It's opened in 1917. It's a special. The best way to describe this is a refuge for the seafarers of the world. You can stay here, and for a very reasonable fee, you have a nice bed. You can make calls to your family. This is done for all the mariners who come to Melbourne to have a safe place to sleep at night. It has a chapel. They sell food over there. It's very nice. On this side we have the South Wharf. This is a very nice area in Melbourne. We have some good bars and restaurants right here. Behind this we have one of the best shopping centers of the city. So if you haven't done your Christmas shopping, you can do it over there. Very nice. It's called the DFO. In front of us we have the Charles Grimes Bridge. It was named after Charles Grimes, who was an early explorer who discovered Melbourne first. But when he came here, he couldn't see any potential for Melbourne to be developed. So he went back to New South Wales and wrote a bad report about Melbourne. Some years later, a guy called John Batman came here. He loved this area, and he was one of the pioneers of the founding of Melbourne. This is why you will see John Batman name everywhere, but you won't see Charles Grimes name much over here, even if he came first. The next bridge ahead is the Webb Bridge. It's also known as the Skeleton Walkway. It represents an Aboriginal eel trap. We have just entered into the Docklands. Docklands is one of the newest residential areas in Melbourne. It has some fancy and expensive buildings everywhere. One of the most beautiful parts of the city. And the buildings here are very impressive. Actually, right here we have the ANZ headquarters. It's a very big, important bank in Australia. This building boasts that is 75% self-energy producer. Yep. It has solar panels, wind turbines, and it also pumps the water from the river to cool and warm it during the year. Very eco-friendly system. It cost $375 million to build this building right here. On this side we have the South Wharf. This is one of the longest continual wharfs in the world at 12 kilometers. This is a new residential area on the South Wharf. These houses are worth around $8 to $9 million right here. Very beautiful. The most expensive ones are the ones that have the private dock in front. On the other side, we have the North Wharf. Right now it's being redeveloped as part of the Docklands development project. I want you to check to your right. Behind that big black building, we have the Southern Ferry's wheel. That's most commonly known as the Melbourne Star. The ride takes approximately 25 minutes. Recommend to go, very nice. If you're gonna go, I recommend you to do it at night. A little bit cooler, gets pretty warm. And the view is definitely better as well. Now, that little tower with blue windows over there is the Old Harbour Control Tower, which is similar to an air traffic controller. Now, they have built another one. We're gonna see it later. It's bigger, looks better. But this is heritage of Melbourne. It cannot be destroyed or removed. If you look to that direction, we have Marvel Stadium. It's one of the largest stadiums in Melbourne. It is for AFL and soccer. It's part of the Docklands. It used to be known as Etihad Stadium. The next bridge ahead is the Balti Bridge. It was named after Sir Henry Balti, the longest serving premier in Victoria. The interesting thing about the Balti Bridge are the pillars that are in the middle. Those two. Those are 90 meters tall. They are hollow inside, and they're not actually touching the bridge at all. So nobody really knows what they do in there. It's a mystery. Once we get close, we're going to see the big gap between the pillar and the bridge. So take a look over here, those pillars, check them out. You're gonna see that they're not touching the bridge at all. This bridge is part of the City Link. It's a series of tall tunnels, roads, and loop roads, all connected as an electronic tollway. Now that we have gone under the Balti Bridge, we can say that we are into the Port of Melbourne. But the Port of Melbourne wasn't always located here. The old Port of Melbourne used to be where the casino and the aquarium are today. And to get there, this used to be a very window, narrow and shallow 2-kilometer trip. As I said, the river was very shallow, so ships would get stuck in the mud often. When the gold rush hit, people decided to improve shipping in this area, so they decided to excavate. And after 8 years, they finished the Port of Melbourne. This is one of the largest man-made ports in the world with a guaranteed depth of 14 meters in all locations. Right here we have Victoria Dock. This is the oldest dock on the Yarra. It's not being used much these days. It's part of the heritage of Melbourne. heritage listed, it cannot be destroyed or removed. Right here we have some cement refineries. It's one of the busiest part of this side of the Port of Melbourne. As we reach the tip of Victoria Dock here, we are entering into Appleton Dock over there. Appleton Dock opened at the end of World War II. It's used for general cargo ships. Used to be used for car carriers. In wheat and grain. Bottom of the dock, you're going to see in a matter of seconds some big silos. They're used for the wheat and grain. This area usually smells like cornflakes, wheat pits. We have some beige and black boats over there. These are the tack boats. They are very important for the movement and safety of everyone in the Port of Melbourne. Their main job is to help dock big container ships by pushing and pulling them using ropes and tackles. They are very strong, more than 1,000 horsepower each. They're also powered with water cannons in front. They are capable to extinguish any sort of fire that could happen here in Melbourne. At distance, you can see a tower. That's the new harbor control tower. We always need to let them know how many people we carry, how long are we going to stay. In case of any emergency, those are the first that we need to contact. They are responsible for the movement and safety of everyone in the Port of Melbourne. Behind the tower, you can see a bridge. That's the West Gate Bridge. It's the third longest bridge in Australia. 2.5 kilometers long, 52 meters above the water, 38 meters in width. The West Gate Bridge is very famous because of a tragedy that happened in the 70s. When they were building it, one of the columns collapsed, killing 35 workers who were unfortunately having lunch underneath. It costed a fortune to fix it. Now, the Westgate Bridge is all good, it's very functional. It's a free bridge. It connects the west and the east part of Melbourne. Over here, we have Swanson Dock, which is the newest dock of this part of the port, in and out per week. I want to say we're not in the